First we're going to be looking at the rogue chopper. The chopper is mainly found on, it's occasionally used given to both sides on conquest maps, but most of the time it is found on conquest maps and other things such as heist and other game modes, mainly like in the center area. It has two Browning machine guns equipped on the front. These weapons are not very fast firing, but can deal a fair bit of damage. They overheat. They take a while to overheat. Actually, you can fire for a pretty reasonably long time before you have to stop firing. The flares. They also have flares. These flares are used for obviously getting rid of heat seekers and things like that, but most of the time you won't have to worry about, the only thing you have to worry about is javelin, which will come down later. As you can see, you can get the main pilot and a co-gunner. The co-gunner, obviously you can only carry 1-2 people, so it's not very used for transport, it's used for like covering team movement. Like here, when you get 33 people moving from one point to another, you get big areas where you can get a lot of bullets in. And a lot, obviously not here, I didn't get many kills, but you can do. The problem I had here was the fact that I was getting way too cocky with it and pushing too far. Like here, I pushed too much. But this chopper's very good for providing ground support, taking out vehicles. It's not too bad taking out vehicles. The problem is, it's like it's taken the same rules from Vietnam, Bad Company 2 Vietnam, but the fact that the armor on the choppers is not very good. But it is pretty effective at taking out ground units, but the ground units are pretty effective at taking out you. So you have to, weigh up the odds and choose whether you're going to push or not. Yeah, as you can see here, I crashed. The gunner has a Gatling gun, as you will see here. It's pretty effective on ground troops against units like vehicles. It does decent damage, but not as much as the main guns on the chopper. The main chopper itself is pretty fast. The transport chopper is much slower than it. It's much quicker to move and is much better handling. The cockpit HUD is pretty good. I understand that you can change your settings for your chopper, so like here I've got it on the, when I was flying this footage, I had it on the initial starting settings of the throttle controlled by the left joystick and the sights controlled by the right. As you can see, it can do some serious damage to the transport chopper, which can be very effective on controlling enemy troop movements. I think it's going to be very key. The problem is, obviously, in some game modes this is only like this one. In this game mode on Conquest here, it spawns on B, but you have to capture B first before you can get to it. And again, then we can try and steal it. So it's all about getting your initial troops in to get the capture. So it's got very limited uses compared to the transport chopper because of the fact that you have to access it first. Also the fact that this one you have to land down and get out and repair, whereas compared to the transport chopper can obviously have someone repairing on the side, whereas this one, you only have you and the gunner, so you have to make stops to repair it. You obviously get, you're most likely, the best setup here would probably be a mechanic and an operator, just so when you do get, because the cockpit on this is pretty, glass, so you're going to get some bullets flying and damaging you. Here I got too cocky and chased him. That's the problem with this thing. I did get too cocky. Pretty good manoeuvrability, but you don't want to overstate it. You have to watch out, yeah, because you have to watch out you don't get too low, so you don't get RPGs and things. Here I'm coming back to repair, but you have to watch out for javelins, as you'll see in this footage. I use this javelin pretty simply, taking out this chopper. As you can see, it's one shot, one kill on the javelins, and so you have to deploy your flares pretty soon, or else it'll just completely ignore the flares and just take out your chopper anyway. That's happened to me several times. But as you can see, you can fly away and quickly repair it. So this is why the other person would be a good operator, because if you had taken any damage from small arms fire from the ground, you can then get healed up and get back in the fight a lot quicker and not worry about you dying. That's the most embarrassing thing. If you die, but your chopper's still fine, because that means the enemy can get a hand on it. Obviously, like I said, it's great to try and cull and take. Obviously, there I prioritise your targets as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, you can cull like big enemy movements in here and take them down and give support. Like you can mark enemy troops from the air, so your team knows where they are. But as I said, there I prioritise the javelin guys. You really need to prioritise your targets in the chopper, because even with 30 players, I mean, let's say that 1/4 of those are mechanics. You're going to have about 7 RPGs flying up at you, so you got to watch out for that. See, as you can see here, this transport chopper is repairing itself, so you got to watch out. They can take a lot more punishment than you can. I think I might have got one of the guns there. As you can see, you can see the sparks. It's still repairing itself. You have to keep putting the rounds in there. Obviously, I did sort of disable it here.
I can repair that.
So they bail out and you can come in and try and squeeze them up. But then your ground troops can get involved. Because the problem is, obviously, with transport choppers and stuff, is you have to try. They can fly a lot further and a lot faster than your ground troops. You have to get to javelins or RPGs to try and take them out. So you're going to be dealing with the air, and let your ground troops deal with mostly enemy vehicles, infantry. Obviously, you can lend out with vehicles,
you want to fly this thing?
But your priority is to control the air, basically. Also, you have to definitely keep an eye on. I can't say this enough, but you need to keep an eye on the javelins, because the javelins will F you up. You have to keep an eye on them. That's why, as you can see here, I tried to pass over as many of the javelin spots as I can, only just to keep an eye on if they've got one. Obviously, you can get some guy who just runs off with one and hides and waits for you. That's happened to me once. It's absolutely annoying. But you've got your job as tank chopper is just to try and deal with the vehicles and the infantry and lend as much support as you can. The transport. You'll be covering the transport to try and get the transport to drop troops off. But you're mainly when you're piloting any chopper, you're mainly a support role. But in this one, you can actually lend to more offensive than just doing transport or covering the transport. And great result as well. 18-6. That's pretty good in a chopper. Now we're going to look at the transport chopper. See, in the transport chopper, this is a lot more sturdier vehicle, but it is much slower. You're not going to be doing any barrels in this thing. You're going to be concentrated. You're going to be playing a lot safer. You're not going to be trying to swerve in between buildings. You'll tend to keep a safe altitude. You might want to fly a bit lower just to avoid enemy scout helicopters and things. But as you can see here, I'm just dropping off troops, getting on my gunner. Shout out to Bless, who's just keeping the fire on the enemy, keeping their head down, trying to get any infantry back up our mates on the ground there, and I'm basically becoming a mobile spawn point, like the truck, but unlike the truck, which can be set with C4, hopefully we can be set with C4, so we can do a lot more help up here. Obviously, now Blessed bailed out, so I had no gunners, so again I was just acting like a mobile spawn point. But you're trying to lend a patrolling role, but obviously when you're in platoons and stuff, you'll then have your guys spawning on you, and you'll get orders. You probably end up getting designated a gunner or something, just so you can keep the fire up, so those guns aren't just sitting there doing nothing. So we took a lot of. This is the guns that the people get. Your gunners get. They have a decent, not very fast fire rate. Same as the guns on the scout chopper. They've got a alright fire rate, but they do a bit of damage, but they're not anything compared to the miniguns on the previous Battlefield choppers. They do not even touch anywhere near that sort of firepower. But they're not too bad. But you can lend some support, but they're not gonna. They might wear some infantry down, but they're not gonna be used against vehicles really, except for maybe the other choppers. But even then, it's you mainly need your scout chopper to deal with over the air for you, or your men on the ground to get you out into RPGs. But so the transport's main job's going to be just providing a mobile spawn point really. See Bless again getting on the gun there, getting some fire down on them. Not a lot, but it's just going to make him think twice, maybe look up to see us, and then one of our guys can get him. It's more of just they're very neutral support role, just keeping that safe altitude, rotating around, maybe do some pickups if necessary, but you don't want to fly too low just in case you get nicked by an RPG or something. As you can see, there's Kiptor and his guys are getting in the truck over there, so we're just lending air support, telling them where the guys are, where they should maybe move to next and that. Kiptor is one of those new platoons I'm working with on Hardline. I'm trying to get some more platoons to work with on Hardline, and I'm trying there's a lot of snipers at the moment, so I'm maybe trying to look at doing maybe some piloting and things, which would be nice. So that's why I'm doing this piloting video, and just to let you kids know how to use choppers effectively, because I've seen the amount of pods where people just crash these in. They can actually be used very effectively if you actually take the time. Here in this game I got a 0 to 6 KD or something, but I got lots of points because I was just being the passive guy, flying around, getting spawns in, getting the kill assists from my gunners, and being a team player. I mean, there's times where you can go in with the guns, and there's times just to sit back and relax. Obviously, you just luck at the door if you get the road shot or the transport, but they're all playing important roles, and help the team out winning. Obviously, in these I'm looking at mechanics, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is going to be shout out to Vanis. Vanis is going to enjoy this video.